ALTBAYS.
ALTBAYS.
That freaks me out. Makes me nervous.
Good.
It's like so loud. He's like, woof.
Listening to yourself is a mission. It's not
It's
everybody
not
who
that. It just gets loud.
it's just loud. I actually like to hear myself loud. I feel a bit more confident about my beautiful voice. We're live. ALTBAYS Show brought to you by ALTBAYS.nz. Macy, did you think someone was here in the room that I pointed to the camera? That's how much our guest is paying attention. She just noticed that we have 4 cameras in the studio now that I pointed at one. Yeah, there's a few.
She's counting now, yeah.
Sorry, yeah. But it's fine. Don't worry. We're good. This show happens 3 times per week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get notifications about who is on and what's happening. We have 1,000 subscribers on our channel. Actually 1,020 something, which is pretty cool. So keep supporting us. Tell your friends to subscribe. If you don't know how to subscribe, you go on the left top side of the screen when you're on YouTube, and there's like a login thing. You put your email there, and then you can subscribe to channels that you think that are going to be relevant for you. Isn't it cool? It's a good life. If you're more of a listener, we're also on all the main podcast platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Amazon Music, Pandora, and all these weird ones that some people listen to, which is a lot of people. So yeah, you can go for them, and it's fine. It's gonna be a great show tonight. I can tell. People try to put peanuts in their mouths and drop them. That's the level of the show tonight. That's what's gonna happen. And I'm not even talking about Chloe Potae on my left.
Hello.
Hi, Chloe. What's up, Chloe?
I'm good, man. I'm also just enjoying watching peanuts fall out of people's mouths as well.
I thought I gave instructions enough, but I forgot to say where the food goes.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she's just stashing them for later. You know, they're pretty good nuts.
Nice. That's good. Chloe, when did you finish school?
When?
Yeah.
Ooh, 2016, I think.
2016. Really?
Yeah, I think so.
That long ago?
Yeah, I think
You're
so.
old.
Oh, no, don't say that again. You don't need to say that again. I'm pretty sure it was on my leavers jumper. It was 2016, so I'm assuming that's when I finished.
Did you consider any stage like university or something like?
Yeah, I was uni bound for maybe the last. I mean, like throughout school somewhat, but it wasn't too like full on stuck to it. But maybe in the last 2 to 3 years of school, I was very much thinking I was headed towards uni, very much uni bound, and then I didn't.
What were you considering at the time?
Right up until the end, I wanted to. In my last year of high school, I wanted to study a computing and mathematical science degree at Waikato Uni. Got a couple of scholarships to go, and then
So when you say you got
you're ripping my heart out, man.
so when you say like you got a scholarship, does it mean that like was an opportunity to study for free, or scholarships are different? Like they give different percentages of discount. How does the scholarship work in New Zealand?
There are quite a few different, I suppose, types. Maybe they're not all considered scholarships. One of them I was one of the first of one of 4 people that got a new, I think it's I can't really remember right now, but like Ngāti Hei, or just something to do with the local area scholarship. I was one of 4 students that were granted that. I think it might actually have something to do with Waikato specifically. And then I know for like maths and science students, there are opportunities that you do pretty much like a test under exam conditions. And it's kind of like if you win, like if you do well, you know, you get opportunity to get. I suppose you could consider it a grant. But some of these things are given to you and are used for specific things. Like some of them are for like your first year housing, if you're going to live in the dorms. Some of them are for like first year study, which is when I got. like within certain amounts. Some of them are for like all sorts of things like that. But there are scholarships out there that are like full horse, so pay for like the full 4 years worth of your studies.
Right. So you mentioned something with the Ngāti scholarship. So it's kind of like
don't quote me on that. I know that it's
fine.
something local to the area. It might even just be the Bay that gives it out. I don't know. I can't remember, but I just remember being one of 4 people in my year group that got it for the first time. Yeah. Right.
I say that I was just curious because in Brazil there's a quota for Black students, for indigenous students. You know, like you can actually get spots in public universities. There's this quota thing, and a lot of people don't understand. They think that is not fair, but sometimes most of those people, they come from a social class that would actually take them, would benefit them quite a lot, and they excel. Most of them, like, they keep up with the studies, and that was just an interesting thing that I decided to start the show with, because I just read on the news that Chloe Schrobeck was talking about the Green Party doing this thing with like checking numbers, and how students in New Zealand are struggling to keep up with university because of student loans, and sometimes they don't.
It's a very real thing for sure. Like this might be controversial, hope it doesn't bite me in the ass, but stuff you, StudyLink, like, you suck. Boom.
Yeah, what is? I think we talked about StudyLink.
StudyLink briefly. It's not too much to do with like things like student loans and stuff, but it's like sort of like an aid that's meant to help study, like when you're studying, whether it's full time or part time and stuff. And it's sort of just a small bit from the government. I don't actually know where the money comes from, but like, it's to help there, to support you, to push you forward, because I know so many full-time students who are very capable and on top of their studies, but are having to work full-time to pay for rent, etc., all these sorts of things, like general living costs, and they're still struggling. And there's certain things like with StudyLink, that's where StudyLink's meant to help. They can help organise student loans, but there's also a certain amount of money that you don't have to pay back, and it goes for things for like food allowances, and goes to accommodation, and even sometimes helps pay for like study material. But the thing is, there's a certain like eligible
like a threshold kind of thing,
but that's based on what your parents earn, which doesn't really make sense to me, because even if someone's parents were just over a threshold, it doesn't necessarily mean that their parents can afford to help pay for stuff that the students need. So they miss out, and they have no real light and no real power in the decision to say that I still need this money, but it's based off their parents' income. And then it's the same sort of thing when you float into, when you start to becoming like, I wouldn't say just to be a young adult, but when you start to float into the other side of things like MSD, so Ministries of Development, which used to be known as WINS, stuff like that too. Like, you could be working, to be eligible for like certain aid, you have to work, you can only make under a certain threshold, and sometimes the difference is $10, and that means people miss out on the extra $80 or whatever the winter heating allowance that gets given out, which is only like $60, but that $60 can make a difference, and you might miss out on that because you made $5 more this week. So, and that, I mean, it's tough. That sort of stuff is tough across the board, but specifically with students, like, it's crazy. And then considering that obviously most of their money goes on rent, and in places like Wellington and especially down in Dunners, like, the conditions are ridiculous, let alone what is available is ridiculous. So it's just, you know,
it's cool. I like that we started on that because I have to say that I was a bit surprised coming to New Zealand, and so many opportunities and people pretty sharp, you know, like for so many subjects. But I was surprised that education was not more accessible. I thought university should be free. Like, if you really want to push the thing with education, then you keep, because in New Zealand some kids just drop out, right? Sometimes year 11, year 12, they just say like, oh, I don't need this, I'm out. And a lot of them feel like they should carry on. And it would make sense that they would have university for free. You know, it makes sense that a country will thrive and grow when you give the proper incentive for people to study. I think that first free year it's a good step towards that. But in my sense, as a developed country like New Zealand, so people say, "Oh, we're not," and I'm like, man, go check out third world countries, and you will see how developed you are. So university should be a thing. So yeah, here in ALTBAYS, we push for free education.
That wasn't funny. That was
not even a joke, but thanks, Papa. Anyway, so we're talking about education, which is a cool thing because tonight, here in front of me, I have one of my ex-students, which is pretty cool. I didn't want to start like that, but it just felt right. Yeah. Hi, Macy.
Hi, Leo.
MACY Costello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm so happy you're here. That's cool.
No, it's just like the old days, eh?
Just like the old days. No drums around, apart from our funny technician and his drums. He's got his snare and a cymbal. Do you like the space?
No, I love it. It's so cool.
Yeah?
It looks so much different from like the videos. Like when I walked in, I was like, oh my God, the table's right here.
So you got to watch something before, like, let me see what Leo is up to, just to make sure.
When I heard you like first release this, I was like, oh my God, like what's Leo up to? So like, obviously I had to check it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm glad. So are you on holidays at the moment? What's happening with Macy?
Last week of holidays, back to school on Sunday, and move into my new dorm. But like, I still have the same dorm mates, but just like a new part of the boarding house. And yeah, just been doing sports on holidays, so it's rest week.
Nice. So you said going back to school on Sunday, which sounds so painful for me. God damn, school on Sunday. But it's because you're doing boarding school.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
So it means that you live.
Yeah.
So is it like a complex? Is it like the same space? The school is here and the dorms are just like next to it, or there's how does it work?
So my school's like they basically got built off a farm, right? So it's like really spread out everywhere. So like girls' boarding's on like one side of the school and the boys' boarding's over here on the other side of the school, and then the classrooms are here.
Electric fence in between them and
actually
garden.
No, it's literally like you could literally like we have this thing called the ring road, and it like connects the whole road around the boarding school. I mean, not the boarding school. What is a boarding school? But the school. And you could literally just run past the boys' boarding, and they're like right there, and it's like, oh, okay.
Right, but the school is the same, like where the boys and the girls.
Oh, it's like the boys, they've got the boys' boarding houses, the whole like sports fields, courts between them, then the school, because that was like boys' boarding was originally boys' boarding before girls was. And then girls is kind of like, there's like the dining hall and stuff, like the back of the school on this side, like the west side of the school. And then like, I think they just built girls' boarding off that.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that any interaction that happens, like for some subjects or something? Or
no,
not
it's
really,
actually really spaced out compared to the rest of the school, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not like, I don't feel like there's my room, then my teacher, like...
Teacher's
like,
right there.
Yeah.
Like, weird.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Do the teachers live on site?
Yeah, there are teachers. So my boarding house director, so like there's like boarding house directors, they all live on site, but like not...
Are they like the dorm mum?
Yeah. Although that's the matron.
Oh, okay.
Then you have house director, and then like below the house director you have all the assistants. So like, they like, you have you obviously boarding house director you have a really close relationship with. And then like the house assistants, like they just come in, so like the boarding house director doesn't have to do it all the time, you know, because like my boarding house director is also like a year 11 chem teacher for more like my friends and stuff. So it's kind of funny, but then like all the other teachers all do live on site and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And then all the house assistants get accommodation on site as well. Yeah.
How's it? Do you ever feel like after you finish school and you're going back to your dorm, are you ever like you look out the window and you're like, and I'm still here?
It's not like that. Oh, actually, to be honest, I finish school and go straight to the IRC, which is our gym. Yeah. And then go to training, and then it's if I stay on a Friday and like everyone's going home, you see all the cars and getting picked up, and then there's like you in your dorm, because I normally have a basketball game on Friday night. Okay. So you're just like, and then I have to coach my netball team on Saturday the next day. So like, but then there's like lots of girls that also do stay in, and but they come from like far. Like I have mates that live in Wellington, Gisborne, Russell. Yeah.
But it's quite common for girls to go home on the weekend and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. Are they So they still stay on grounds during the week?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. You ever like dipped back over here for the weekend? Have you had a
most
chance?
Weekends I do, yeah.
Oh, cool.
I actually go home. Last term, because of reps, I'd like have coaching on Saturday and then reps on a Sunday. And it'll be like in the Waikato area or like Auckland or something. And there's kind of like no point of going home.
Yeah, when you're,
Yeah, so I'd just go stay at my grandparents, who are just awesome, because I just always go there because it's just so close to Cambridge, because I didn't like the fact of staying in.
Yeah.
Like, I've stayed in a couple times by choice and I just didn't like it at all.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's like it's not fun if your friends don't stay in.
Yeah.
You know? Otherwise you're just like, you make friends obviously with everyone else in the boarding house, like you know them, but like you're not really close with them.
So you were talking about sports. What sports do you play?
Netball, basketball and touch rugby.
Oh, cool. And do you only coach for netball?
Yeah. In summer, in term 1, I coached year 7, 8 touch.
Oh, sweet.
Because I got named touch captain at school, so I was just like captain of all touch.
Oh,
so
cool.
then like I also helped coach out like the year 9 and 10 teams for the boys and girls and stuff.
Yeah. And what year are you at school, sorry?
11.
11. Oh, cool. Awesome.
So is it the first year that you are studying in this new school, or is the second one already? I got lost. Second one.
I'll still be with you at Magri Bay
I know,
playing
right?
drums last year.
I know. I'm getting old, Macy. My memory just fails sometimes. But the thing is, so you were studying at the Magri Bay Area School for 9 years.
Yeah.
Big differences from the new one, would you tell? Like you can be as broad as you can take it as broad as you want it to be. Like what are the because Magri Bay Area School, it's a public school. It's a different way. Like, so you finish school, go back home, do your thing, and now this school completely different pace and everything. Like, so how was the transition, and what did you struggle with, and what you like went very well? You were like, oh, this is great.
I definitely strived off the sport opportunities. Like they were just getting thrown at me left, right, and centre when I went to St. Peter's. Like I did so much in my first term there, and it was so cool. Probably I felt like there was like just going there, and the teachers like they expected so much of you, and like a lot of the kids, they'll get taught things that I didn't learn. So I kind of went in there and be like, I didn't get teach this, because they like expect such a high level of you, but then there's also so many like resources to back you up with it and stuff. So it's like there's like it's a school that's got lots of resources for me, but I don't think there's like the only part that's majorly different from Magri Bay to St. Peter's is just the boarding part, really.
Yeah.
Did you feel any pressure? Like, did you feel like, oh man, this is new and I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep up, or just making friends? Because you're a social person, but like it's always a challenge, right?
I remember my first week, I had touch nationals, and that was when we went to Auckland and played touch nationals, but it was also on the weekend where it was compulsory you had to stay in to make friends.
Oh, okay, yep.
And like, people like at school, like, or like the boarding people at school, like, are you gonna we'll worry you're not gonna make friends. You're not there on the first weekend. Like you're also leaving halfway. Like I only went to school for 1 day on the first week of my new school, and then I left for the nationals.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, so I made friends quite quickly because I knew Sophie Walker, who's used to go to Magri Bay, and I ended up getting put in her dorm. Oh, perfect. So I kind of just made friends, like I was friends with her, and then I felt like I got put into the right dorm because like they were all like the real similar people to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Do a lot of the people, that group you were talking about, are they all super sporty as well?
Yeah, all of them, everyone does like something.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, like I have 2 of my friends that are in the first 11 for hockey. I've got 2 of them that are rowing, squash, like
yeah. I had a friend who went there and she was like super into horses, like, and so it was like, I don't know what the terms are, but like it's like to be an equestrian or whatever.
Yeah, well, I have a friend in my boarding house that's also into equestrian, but she also plays. She's not polo crosses.
Yeah.
And she's like, I think she's over in Aussie playing for the New Zealand team right now.
Oh wow!
But like she's telling me about it, and it really seems crazy. Just like I watched videos of her like just chasing everyone with sticks and like whacking the horses and stuff. I'm just like, oh my God.
She's so intense.
Oh no!
I'm just like, this is way more intense than like netball, basketball, something.
So Macy, how is the take me through a typical day? Okay. And like a weekday for you.
My least busiest weekday, which would just be a wake up at 6:45, go to breakfast. Oh, you get ready obviously between like 6:45 to 7:30, Then 7:30 you kind of get a breakfast. House meeting at 7:50, which is just like a make sure everyone's back from like morning trainings. So everyone's still in the boarding house, you know. And then go to school from 8:15 to 3:20, and there's 6 periods a day. So I know that a lot of others, because Mercury Bay has blocks, I remember that. So then like a lot of other schools also only have like 5 periods, but since we do that extra little bit more, there's like an extra period left in the day, so we just do that. And then 3:30 to like 5 is training for whatever sport I have. Then go back, chill, dinner, which I don't, it just depends what time. I remember in COVID you would have to go your boarding housing time. Like you could just go, now you can just go like whenever, but like during COVID it'd be like, okay, Wrigley's at 5:30, so you got to go with your boarding house at 5:30.
Yeah.
And then prep, which is our homework time, that goes to like an hour and a half to 2 hours, mainly for year 11s, because we obviously have an NCA now, and like last year doing like no prep. And then you have like an hour and a bit to chill.
TikTok.
That is when you find us doing TikTok.
TikTok hour.
Yeah.
Nice.
Are you a TikTok person, or you're more like an Instagram? What's?
Oh, I do love TikTok. I'm always pulling out my phone to do TikTok dance. Like any of the girls would be like, hey, do you want to do a TikTok? And just do a random dance. But then we won't post it because no.
Yeah, you're like, just save the drafts.
Just drafts, yeah. Definitely Instagram and Snapchat.
Yeah.
That's probably the 2.
Are you on Facebook at all?
I had to get on Facebook last year.
Oh my God.
Why did you have to?
So for...
Sounds so embarrassing to say that.
Facebook's like the cringy app now.
No, I refused to get Facebook until I had to, which was when I had to get, because for our Touch New Zealand page, we're posting up things on there, and all the players had to be on it. So I had to get Facebook.
Tedious.
Yeah.
Do you use Facebook Messenger?
Yes,
Yeah,
I do use that. We have actually a lot of our sports teams use that.
Or
as
have
group
like, because
chats.
that's where like everyone has group chats and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you use your cell phone in the school? How does it work? What's the
So
okay.
devices, no devices out from 8:15 to 3:20 in school hours.
Really?
But
Wow.
it's like they're really strict on it. But just don't like get caught, you know. Like if there's a teacher like walking past, you're obviously not going to be on. Like we have, me and my friends have this thing. If we see a teacher come, we go, "Oh, your phone's out, like put it away."
Yeah.
We're like, the weather's really good today. Or so we say something like that,
code
and then
word.
it's like the code word to like there's a teacher coming.
But is that any
Punishment?
No. Yes. Is that
straight into it.
That was not a
So-
question, but there you go. Is there any punishment if you get caught with your?
You get taken off you for the rest of the day, or it depends on your teacher really. Like if you get caught in a class, they might just take it off for the rest of the period. But if you have like some teachers, they'll be like, I'm taking it to the dean, you have to go get it at the end of the day. And it's like that. I've done it once.
I was going to say, how many times have you been caught?
I've only been caught once. I think if you get it done 3 times, it's a detention, which is like a detention after school.
Yeah.
But I had to...
What happens in detention? Do you have to kneel on like corn, or they slap?
Yeah, with like a ridiculously long
It
ruler.
sounds like my
Back to
school's
the
a cult.
19th century. No. I'm joking.
I've never been in detention. I don't know.
Good
Yeah,
answer. Just
good
in case
answer.
mum and dad are out watching. Yeah, good answer.
Hi mum, hi dad.
Good. Is there any exception that they would allow you to use for something related to the class, or they give you the device that
Actually,
you can use if you need
like-
some research or something?
In business, obviously, like, so last term we did a create your own product, sell it at market day, you know? So me and my friend Emma created tote bags because it was trendy, I guess, and I guess our target market was kind of there. And obviously they're like, you need to create like a social media platform and like promote it. So then we had permission from our teacher to pull out our phones and use Instagram and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that are excuses. That are exceptions.
But it's so weird. Like you can like it's like not at lunchtime or morning tea either. Like don't go on your phone, sort of thing. But like you can go back to the boarding house at morning tea or lunchtime, and you can just pull out your phone. And it's fine. Like no one cares. But then as soon as there's like this certain point where you're walking back into school from the boarding house, you're like, okay,
Like it's safe now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
What about other devices, like things like obviously do you guys use laptops and stuff during school
Yeah.
and whatever?
Walkie-talkie.
Is that like
Yeah, we get our laptops during school. It's like our main source of learning.
Yeah.
Like everything's on Google Classroom. And That's all we use actually to a
And
classroom.
any of your like programs restricted and stuff like that?
So yeah, the Wi-Fi actually restricts you. So like,
you can't be like.
so like on like it like during the day it restricts you from like any social media on your phone.
Yeah.
Like you can't watch Netflix at school.
Wow.
But like most people just get VPN.
VPNs, yeah. Okay, cool.
Ooh,
But they
same.
really, I remember last year we were in chapel and we had like a stats report on who's on VPNs and stuff. Like it would be like, it showed all the numbers of how many VPNs are getting used at what hours during the day. But like,
from like their network, like the school's network and stuff. Oh,
it was like, oh my God.
You're like, everyone.
But I just use my data because, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, cool. Speaking of chapel, what's chapel?
Chapel is 45 minutes of obviously church-related talk, I guess.
Oh, because the school you're going into is like it's really religious.
It's religious,
yeah.
but it's not really religious. It's like, I think when I tell my friends I have to go to chapel, they think like, oh, that's a cult, whatever, you know. But it's like, it's actually, it's not that bad, you know, because it's like a time to reflect during the week. Like they say that your family and friends will love you and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's literally 45 minutes. It's like,
You don't have to dress up like a nun?
no, well, you don't have to get into formals, which is,
okay.
yeah.
But not nunnery gear?
Yeah, no.
Oh, cool. Interesting. No.
No, I don't mind going to chapel. It's just like, they like read out verses from the Bible and then they like kind of relate it to school,
Yeah.
which kind of makes it interesting, I guess.
Cool.
So then you don't kind of like zone out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you religious or your family?
No. But
And sorry, you carry on.
no, you go.
No. And was it okay for you? Like, was not a well? Yeah, it's okay. Have to go to the chapel. That's what it is. It's all good.
At first I was like, oh yeah, like it was obviously a new experience to go to a school with chapel and stuff. But then I kind of got there and it's like, oh, it's chill.
Yeah. Just another part of the school day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
So
cool.
Kind of like religious studies.
Yeah.
Just another part of the school day.
Right. Are you good at religious studies?
I haven't failed an internal yet.
I hope.
Striving for those 6 credits.
So you get 6 credits from
So like,
if you do it well.
yeah, so like we do all the different religions this year, and then you do like a quiz, and then like, so if you get like a 50 to 60, it's achieved. If you get like a 60 to 75, it's a merit. And then like, as long as you passed all of those but wasn't achieved, I think you get your 6 credits at the end.
Right.
So then I think like also from like PE, which is just normal PE, you get 6 credits for participating. You know, like showing that you're into it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's crazy.
Wow. I wish I took that class.
But like
Jeez.
I didn't think like, at first I thought nothing of it, but then I like realised that they actually like mark you and like you have to do like logs and stuff. Like the end of PE.
Yeah.
You know, like you still have to do like a little bit, but it's like chill.
PE I remember at school was like, we're in the hall and just like a few of us are like really loudly trying to decide the sport and we'll play dodgeball. And then we played dodgeball for the hour. And that was PE. Like, like I was like, oh, I didn't know. There was, if I could get credits for playing dodgeball like once a week, twice a week, I'm like, yeah, no, sweet.
Yeah. No, we haven't had. I've been asking for a hearty game of dodgeball. I haven't had it yet.
I love dodgeball.
Yeah.
I absolutely
It's the best game.
It's so fun.
I remember, just be like, oh, what do you want to do for PE? I'd be like, dodgeball, and you'd be like, no.
Especially if it's indoors, like if you're in the hall or something. It was mean. It was really good.
I remember with COVID, we had to go outside because you weren't, because it was indoors.
Indoors, yeah.
So like none of the PE classes are outside, and I was just like,
Makes it a bit. Then you got to run after the ball, like.
no, then because like you'd have to go outside in the cold, and like I was like not having it. Like first period PE, you had to go outside. It might be raining. Not having it.
How was COVID and lockdown and stuff while you're at school? Did you come home?
I came home. I remember going to the dining hall and calling my boyfriend. I was like, I might be coming up because I heard that there's like cases on the Coromandel and stuff, and I was like, oh, come home. And you know how like the Coromandel Auckland went like to a longer like lockdown and stuff.
Oh yeah,
like 7 days or whatever. Extended for like 2 months almost.
Yeah.
But I remember the first one for the country. I just remember we were all gathered in the common room after dinner because it was on the news, and we were like, oh my god, like what's happening? We were like expecting like level 3 or something, and they go, no, level 4, and we all started screaming and jumping up and down because I think like that Sunday I was like not having a good week. I just wanted to go home. I was sick of school. I needed a break, and then that happened, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, what a relief.
And then that happened, and online school was actually really strict at my school. Like, they take the roll. I remember the first 5 days, I was like, okay, I'm not doing online school. Like, it's online school.
Yeah, you're like, eh.
I'm not going to do it. And then I remember my mum and dad started getting emailed by my teachers and deans.
What did you do? Did you put like a doll, like a Macy doll, like pretend that was in front of the camera?
No.
What was it?
There was some teachers that were like, turn on your cameras, or some just didn't care.
Yeah.
Or like, you just be on mute. But I remember I wasn't doing my maths or RE.
Yeah.
And then my mum got emailed like, Macy, your maths teacher just said you're not doing your RE or maths. And I was like, oh.
How weird. She like comes knocking on your bedroom door and you're just chilling, and she's like, you need to be doing it, you need to be in maths class right now, and you're like, this is weird.
I know. But it was annoying because the timetable still applied. So class started at 8:15. You had to be online at 8:15 in the morning.
Oh my god, wow.
I know.
Right through till
3:20. Yeah.
Did you feel like some of your friends liked it? Because there was something that we talked about it at school, that like a lot of students, they didn't like, because they're more like social students, but a lot of them who actually struggle with the social part of school, they actually preferred to be online, to be engaging. Like, did you feel that among your friends?
I didn't know a single person that liked it. Everyone hated it.
Ah,
thank you.
All right.
But I remember when we were in, it was the second time a lockdown happened, but it was only for Hamilton. Remember that just Hamilton went into lockdown? And then our school got on like the edge of it. So like, obviously I had to leave school. And I was actually during a netball tournament in the holidays, and we like get told midway through tournament, oh, actually tournament's off. We're like all staying in like a boarding house at school. They're like, oh, tournament's off, go home, and we're like, oh, we didn't get to finish. And it's like some of the year 13s like last ever game for the school.
Oh,
like, it was so sad. I felt so bad for them. And then I remember coming home, and then I was in level 2, so we could all still do like normal things, I guess. But Hamilton was in level 3, so I still did it. While everyone was at Mercury Bay going to school, I was like at my house doing online school. But that's when I like started playing module touch and footy again and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, cool. So speaking of touch, you would play in like the summer league games here?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah. Okay. I think it worked out really well last year, because last year I was like, I'm not in Mercury Bay to play touch and stuff. Like I was playing Waikato touch and modules over there, but because I think you have to play 3 games within the Thames Valley for a module to be eligible to like reps touch. Yeah. So I was just like I was a bit, but then the level 2 thing happened and level 3, like the lockdown happened, so I just came home and did that. So that worked out. But this year, since I've study leave, I just come back earlier, which means it works out again.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's good for the students, but it's obviously good for the school that students excel in sports, right? Do you feel like they focus on like your preparation?
Oh, yeah.
They give advice on like health as well and nutrition, or it's mainly like, be here to train? And like, is there a preparation as well?
So yeah, there's a lot of preparation. So all of our coaches are like high coaches. Like my netball coach, my netball coach was a former Silver Fern. She's coached teams at top level. She's been assistant coach for the Silver Ferns when they went to England. She's like, they're all done significant things in my life. And like my basketball coach, she's been like a New Zealand Tall Fern. She's been to Olympics. Like they've all done something like really significant in their life. And you find that with like any teacher at my school. Like it might be like a social studies teacher, but they've done something really significant in their life. But the preparation, they really focus on looking after yourself and like like your physical and mental well-being. So we have, for twice a week, we have strength and conditioning, which is just the gym, and we got like a program we complete each term, helps with our fitness, like building muscle and strength and stuff. So we like it with injuries and stuff, so we're not getting injured. We have every week for netball and basketball, we have like a weekly mental check-in how you are, because there's obviously,
how does that go? That's cool.
So because like at premier level, you're obviously training every day, and then I don't sometimes come home back to like, there's like certain times during the week I don't get back to the boarding house till like 10 o'clock at night. Yeah. But then I also have homework and I've missed out on prep. Like last term, I don't think I had a prep night.
Oh, wow.
So like I'd be doing it.
Just training.
and then trying to find time to do prep, which was I actually struggled with it first, but then I learnt like, oh, this is the way it is. Everyone else deals with it in my teams. Yeah, like it's not a big deal, you know. So like you kind of just learnt to do prep. But I don't know, we have a lot of resources at sports as well. So like if you get injured, go straight to the physio. Right. If you have problems, go coach.
So there's a lot of like mental health support as well to chat and to just feel like empowered and feel confident about it. Yeah. That's an important part of the thing, isn't it?
I feel like it really is, because like I remember last term before I like started reaching out to my coaches, like I'm stressed, I'm struggling with everything, which I did have like a phase of that for like 2 weeks. I was just like, you know, like I felt like I was in like this little hole.
Everything was getting on top of you. Yeah.
I felt like I couldn't reach out, but then I realised that you literally can, and it wasn't even that bad.
Yeah, but it's always that first thing, that everyone hesitates about, just like asking.
Yeah. I'll just be like, hey, what did I talked to I think I talked to my netball manager. I was like, how can I wasn't like stressed mentally. I was, but it was about schoolwork. Yeah. Like it wasn't about anything else. It was just my school, and I didn't want to be failing and stuff like that. Yeah.
But if that takes space in your mind, it takes space from all the other things as well, right? That goes along with it.
Yeah, no. You start to worry about the little things which actually don't matter. And some things are just out of your control, and you can't be upset about the things you can't control. I feel like that's a big thing.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between like when you are year 8, 9 from when you are year 11, 12, obviously. But would you say that, I don't know if better and worse is the best words to define, but like, how is it to be in a classroom with boys and to be in a classroom without boys, and just like, do you feel a big difference when it comes to that, or it's just
I have boys in my classroom.
I'm sorry?
I have boys in my classroom at school.
Oh, so the school actually
it's
saw
co-ed.
the classes.
Yeah, it's mixed.
Oh, it's all together. All of them. Yeah. All the schools mix it.
Yeah.
It's just the time that you obviously spend. Yeah. So there's no subjects just that the girls go and.
The only thing you go to is like learning group, which is like, I think at Mercury Bay they called it LCT or Coldie time.
Right.
But like,
was it like your homeroom time?
Yeah,
but they changed that name
all the time.
All the time.
I remember
it was ICT, and then it was like homeroom, and then it was like, I don't know. I just think that's hilarious, because
I remember my boyfriend going, "Oh, I have Coldie time tomorrow" or something, when I was like home for a week. I was like, "What's Coldie time?" And I was like, he'd be like, you know, learning group would be like, oh, LCT. He's like, no one calls it LCT anymore.
Is it still in the morning? I remember they like moved it to like midday, back to like after second period, before morning tea, to like back to the morning. And then it was like, oh, I just thought it was hilarious. It was just a weird side note.
No, when I left Mercury Bay, it was after first block, for like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
At my school, it's for twice a week. After the first 2 periods, so like 15 minutes. So that's like 15 minutes of your morning tea.
Morning tea time. Yeah, okay.
But you were saying that like that's the only case when it's just the girls? Is that where you were going?
Yeah, that's the only case when, so like my learning group is only just girls. And it's like you're like, you know how you have Buffalo, Tainui, Matt, Mercury? So we have that at school, but you just do that in your house. And so it's like all Thornton girls in one learning group. Like, well, like they have, I think it's like 2, because there's like another group of Thornton girls. There's like 2 groups, and they're like
per dorm kind of thing, like per no.
It's like a house. Like day students are also involved.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it's totally different from the boarding house. Yeah.
Right. And which subjects are compulsory? Which ones do you have to take?
So it depends. Like as you grow up during the school. So in level 1, maths and English is compulsory, and level 2, it's only maths, English and PE is compulsory in level 1, then it's English and PE in level 2, and then it's just PE in level 3.
Do you think it's a good idea to have PE as a compulsory subject?
Yeah, because I feel like there's always those kids that just don't get involved like in sports, or like, you know, so like it also just builds connections within your relationship at school. So I guess like not just in the classroom, you know. Which I feel like it's good to have all the way through, because I don't think anyone else would take PE all the way through their schooling as a subject.
What do you think, Chloe?
I think I think it's a bit intense that it's compulsory, only because I remember at school, our year group, I think we had a big chat in year 12 about I don't want to go too far, but that we were discouraged to. But the seniors before us for living level 3 were the way our school internal whatever is set out that there was like you can take 6 subjects, but we were like somewhat. I felt like we were somewhat discouraged not to because people struggled, which is fair enough. Yeah. And so the idea of like, and so, but even having that sometimes, like I remember having to drop subjects that I really enjoyed just because I couldn't have enough there was too many in my timetable. So the idea of my like having something that's compulsory, it makes you sort of feel like you might miss out, like that takes a slot from something you might really want to do. But then again, it just, I don't know how it really works there. It might work well. But I think PE would be a good way, especially what you said, to build that sort of inclusivity and like the social aspect of it, because you tend to in PE, like, I don't know, play team sports and stuff like that. That sort of spirit comes from sports,
Well, it's good for mental health anyway, right? To keep moving, so it will help probably with the other subjects. If you're moving, if you're doing something.
It's like, it's good because then you have like a break, and but like there's like classes where you might sit down the whole time, but then you might have PE 4th period or something, and that's like just a break of just sitting down, I guess, which is also like why I took subjects that were always not like sitting down, because you don't want to, like, you might have like all these classes that you're just sitting down for 6 periods the whole day. I think that'd be pretty hard. It gets tedious. I'm one of those people that I either sit for a very long time and then I'm on my feet all the time. Like it's one or the other. It's like my body gets tired of one or the other. So like sitting for ages and like two periods have gone past, 3 periods, and then it's like my last class. I'm like walking around the classroom and the teacher's like, Chloe. And I was like, I'm still doing my work. I'm just can't sit down. Like, what the hell?
Do you watch TV, Macy?
Holidays, yes. I've been binge watching Love Island.
Boo. Boo, Love Island sucks.
Yeah, I'm curious about the shows. What do you watch? Because you said like you actually don't have too much time to play on with your phone and all this. But when you do, what do you usually watch or follow? Or TikTok,
Instagram.
Like any who is trending on your TikTok? Who are the influencers or here we go, she doesn't want to say it. Must be horrible. Must be embarrassing.
You know how the new Elvis movies come out?
Yeah.
It's Elvis Presley. It's just
trending. Is it just bombed yours? Oh, okay, yeah. I got off that side of TikTok because I was like, this is like cringy. Like,
so what is it? Is like people dancing and doing like Elvis dance moves? Or?
It's like edits of the movie that's just come out and stuff. It's like just little clips of it, but it's absolutely bombarded my FYP, which is For You page. I don't know how to get off it. Like, I think there was a point where in year 9 I went through like a phase of just Harry Potter, and then my whole For You page was just Harry Potter.
You can, because I used to get like every other hour I'll get like this random thing, like, TikTok just cracks me up. I love it. Where my news feed, like your feed, is just filled with like super random or something like very specific. Like it could be really small creators that are like posting weird stuff, and then all of a sudden they're like all my videos. And what you got to do is to get off it, you just like hold and click, and it'll come up like interested or not interested, not interested, and then it like.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
I get rid of it. Yeah,
I totally forgot about that.
There you go.
Do you follow us on TikTok?
No, you guys have TikTok?
Yep, you have to follow us now.
Oh my gosh, I will.
And do you want to do a TikTok after we finish? If it's not too late. Oh, cool. Just sliding in there.
Sounds good.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So the Elvis Presley thing is just too much for you at the moment, or you actually like them?
I like seeing. He's actually a really good looking man when he was in like 1956 to like. When he was in his prime.
Yes. Well, he started something that it was just like revolutionary.
Absolutely.
At the time, moving that way.
He didn't start that. He stole it for Little Rich.
I know what you mean. He stole it from Little Richard.
I thought he stole it from Forrest Gump.
No. What?
What?
No.
Forrest Gump, you know, he does the thing with his legs, and that's what like Elvis is like, ooh.
Yeah. No. What Taylor, like, I think you're talking about the movie, and Taylor's talking about the actual singer, or no, you're also talking about...
No, I believe it's real history.
So, the thing is, it's because Elvis, the white guy dancing in that sexy way, or whatever you want to call it, like moving, and a lot of people said, he's the first person to do that. But what Taylor says, that there was this... black guitar player called Little Richard.
Yeah.
And he did that before, but it didn't reach the mass as Elvis Presley. did. But it's still, you know, like that was quite shocking for a lot of people to see him dancing and doing that. So definitely marked an era. Yeah. Have you watched the movie?
Not the new one. I'm not actually that interested. Mainly because there's like a few things. My TikTok is very much filled with, not say conspiracy theories, but like crime stories and investigations and stuff like that. And like with this Elvis thing on the other side of the trend was all this weird stuff about how
he died or something.
Oh yeah, how he died, obviously, and also like how also his health in the last years. Like, it was ridiculously weird, and all the weird shit he used to do.
Like, I didn't know much about it until TikTok put it on there.
Yeah, and then my weirdest bit is his whole thing and his ex-wife, Priscilla. She was 14. like 14. Would your parents let you run away with some? Oh no, ridiculous. But it happened.
It happened. Obviously, it wasn't inappropriate, I guess, back then, in a way, for him.
Didn't she? But then he like married her, and then
when she was legally, but she was
just 16, which is also crazy. But
I'm literally 16. Imagine getting married after someone that's 26.
2 years ago, your parents like someone's super famous right now.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber. Yeah.
No. What about
someone you like kind of.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So if like Tom Holland was like meet your parents, was touring here, and he like bumped into you somehow, and you're like,
that's Little Richard, by the way. He definitely started before Elvis Presley, and he was alive until not that long ago, right? He died not that long ago.
Yeah.
But probably something to do with his color. Obviously, that people didn't give much attention to him as they would to Elvis. But anyway, this is just something to put something there for you. Carry on with the actor.
Priscilla. So she was like 14 when her and Elvis met, and they like kept some conversation and connection going back in the day. So you don't have cell phones, but they're writing letters.
He went to the military just to meet her.
Yeah.
How's crazy? He went to Germany, met her in the military, and then she got flown over.
And then she got flown out. Like he managed to talk her. It like happens a lot with lots of big superstars back in the day. Yeah. His parents like managed to talk her parents into like letting her go live with him.
Finish high school in Memphis and stuff.
And then like married her, and then it's just weird. It's super weird. Yeah. Not all good.
And this is something that like I think I brought it up to one of the shows not that long ago. Like imagine what are the things that nowadays are fine and won't be in the future. You know? Because like at that time it was okay. You know, like rock stars.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Well, maybe not okay, but like it would happen and people knew. You know,
there'd be like people obviously would have their opinions on it.
People would have their opinions.
But I don't think the government or the law was doing anything
about it.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't like a rule.
And it's the whole thing in America that like, certain states you can marry at like 16. Yeah. And like,
so this is something that I was thinking because I was like, oh, you know, Macy 16 and a lot of things in the country you start doing when you're 16, like the driving driver's license thing. Are you already getting that sorted or?
I got my
don't drop the penis. Don't.
I got my learners at the start of June.
Nice.
Cool.
So 6 months till my restrict.
Right, and then and there's a community, there's a group of people in New Zealand pushing a campaign to drop the legal age to vote.
So how young?
To 16.
Okay, I have a clue about government and how it works. Like, I obviously watch the news, and I try to educate myself on it a bit, like what parties does what and who does different things. But I don't think I would be able to like make a vote of who I would want to be running my country. You know?
Do you think though that if it becomes a thing? Probably the educational system would have to keep up with that.
I feel like they'd have to introduce it somewhere in the school system to be teaching you about
politics.
But it would have to be like from someone that's obviously like it's such a confidential it's such a touchy subject, I guess, but it would have to be introduced in the like education system somewhere.
Yes. And the cool thing that we have so many like people involved in politics coming here, Like they say something very simple that makes a lot of sense. Like if you don't choose someone to represent you, someone else will.
Yeah.
You know, like so.
I seen that on TikTok.
yeah. That was Mike Bennett who said it. But also we had other people saying.
Oh no, I seen that on the ALTBAYS clubs when he said that.
Yes. Yeah. And what was the name of the lady from the council, the workers? Pamela Greeley. She decided to run for community boards or MP, I think, because she couldn't agree with the ideology of the ones who were going for that. You know, so like sometimes it forces you
to do something about it.
So like if I like that idea of dropping the age, but I also think that education has to come.
Yeah, I definitely. If they're going to drop the age,
side.
they have to do something about like schools. You know,
because like it makes a lot of sense that the young people should start to be active. You know, like have a voice, because you guys are jumping in the world. Yeah, it won't be far. You know, so like you're 16 now, and the person who you might vote this year will be finishing the time when you are working. You know, like doing things, and so it is relevant in a way, right? But you're right, like you need to get some sort of education about that. What do you think, Chloe? That's a good one.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It's just one of those things who will, I don't know, for the lack of a bit of a word, police the like unbiased information, you know what I mean? Like, because it's one thing to have like to be taught like a general understanding of how like politics work and all sorts of lingo, but then like, I mean, who's to stop a teacher in a classroom, you know, really pushing their own opinion and stuff like that?
Yeah, but then you gotta trust. Again, you gotta trust that the person who is there is explaining how it works, not their opinion on something. Because, like, for example, most people don't know the differences between the community board, the mayor, the MP.
I wouldn't have a clue.
You know, like so sometimes the community board, which is the one just for the region, it's much more important than the MP because like they are the ones
on the ground
watching, you know, like knowing. But like if you don't know what those guys do, like how are you gonna be able to choose, right? So I think that's the difference, you know, like someone who would come and like be quite neutral. I'm just saying how it works. Yeah. Do you vote, Chloe?
Yep.
And you
I haven't done in maybe it was a referendum I missed. But yeah, even when I was living in Australia years ago, I applied, made sure I got my ballot, isn't that what we call it? Ballot over in Oz, and made sure I voted. Yeah. I think that was to vote these guys in.
Right.
Yeah.
What about overseas, going overseas? Is it something that you would fancy one day, like as a sports?
Obviously, yeah. Like sports taking me places, that's probably my dream. Obviously traveling for sports. But I don't have anything about studying overseas or like, you know.
Yeah.
Or living overseas, like, yeah. I know a lot of students at my school think about it because they have this. We have NCA option, and then we have IB, which is the International Bachelorette, I think it's called. And it's like a lot of kids that like want to work overseas or have an idea, or they like, or like international students that like come from there and still want to work overseas. Like they all take IB because it's internationally recognised as a diploma. I think so is NCA like in a lot of countries now, but I'm pretty sure IB is just like really like up there.
Yeah.
So is it a moment where the even the way that you learn things change because of how you choose, where you choose to be?
So I think it's like there's a lot of rules with IB. You have to take a language, you have to take a science, I think. You take maths, English, and then I don't know what else it is, but like it's a different way of learning. Like, you know how you have like exams at the end of every year. So like in level 1 you do NCA level 1, and then when you get to level 2, which is what is happening for kids in my at the moment, you have the option of doing IB next year or NCA level 2. And IB you do tests, right? Like it's a 2-year course, so you do like all your learning, and then the end of year 13 is when you have your exams for IB. So like, you know, I feel I don't want to do it because I couldn't have all that pressure at the end of my schooling. At like that one time of school to like have that happen.
Right,
But
right.
like you do, but like the kids that do it in my school, I'm pretty sure they like just do like tests every like so weeks, and it's like more faster paced because you only have 2 years to learn everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, Chloe, because I think when I first came to Fitzsianga, that was 9 years ago.
Oh my
years now.
God.
Pretty
you make
much.
me
Oh
feel
my
so old.
goodness.
Yeah, you were Macy's age, right? Were you 15? No, you were 16. You were
15, 16,
You were
yeah.
still 15, turning
15,
16.
16.
Because you graduated in 2016.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
was year 5 in 2016.
Are we doing maths right now? I'm like, what are we calculating?
No, so I'm just remembering because you talked about when you left school, and I was like,
yeah,
when
I'm
you
pretty
told
sure
me.
it's like, 2016 was my last year. 18.
So then I was thinking, oh, like what year was I in 2016? I was like, oh, I was year 5.
Year 5.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we were. Oh,
I was in primary
We
school.
were like a new entrance. Oh, sorry.
No, I was like almost at the top of primary school.
Yeah.
It was always year 6.
Anyway,
9 years ago.
Where I was going with this, is that
God, I can't believe it. I actually never thought I'd say it, but I feel old. I know I'm not old, but what the hell? Sorry.
oh, you
Continue.
see
I was
when-
having a moment.
and things hurt at one stage, and you see, and then you feel old, all right. Anyway, we were working at the same place, and we had quite a few foreigners working at that place, and I actually cannot remember if you already had a will to go overseas, because you were very local. I remember that. I remember you were very like, oh, I like this, I'm doing this in this sports and everything. And then we didn't talk for a while. It was the time that you actually went, open your wings and went to what, Japan and Australia?
Oh, when I was 18, I went
So-
to Australia to live with family earlier, so closer to that time, like after 16. And then did whatever stint there, and then I came home and finished my last year of school. Year and a half of school here at the Bay, and then after 18 I was like super uni bound, and then weeks went past, and I just didn't go, which was actually really disappointing because I had some scholarships, and the worst bit is because I was enrolled, I couldn't claim back on them. If I didn't enroll, if I decided that I'm not going to go, instead of it being like, nah, I could have, like, a couple of years later when I decided to be like, oh, maybe I should just go back onto uni, I could have still claimed those scholarships.
you would still have had it.
But because
That's
I
so dumb.
enrolled, it just went to nothing. Because
So
I'm
if you're watching us
stupid.
now in that position,
If
listen
you
to Chloe.
have scholarships and you actually have no intention of going to uni, then look
You might
into how
change your
long they're
mind.
valid for, because and 2 years after you leave school, your scholarships might still be accessible. Don't do what
That's
I did.
advice I can take.
And just take it and then let it go. But it was then when I was 18, I started working full time for the first time, and I worked my first summer here. And it was in the new year, because my birthday's at the end of the year. So after the summer, sometime in like March-ish, is when I decided, I met a girl, and I've always loved teaching, and I wanted to. My parents were a bit like, well, if you're like, what are you going to do? Like, I'm working full time. They're like, yeah, but like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Fitting sort of vibes. And I was like, oh, and you know, everyone takes their OE sort of
Yeah.
thing. So I was like, oh, I'm thinking about traveling. And then I met with a friend, got hooked up with this cool teaching gig, teaching TESOL, and went to Malaysia and spent 6 weeks there.
Wow.
Teaching and stuff, and then I travelled, first time travelling internationally on my own, other than with this friend of mine, met heaps of people, and then Malaysia, Singapore, Indo, and then we went to Thailand, travelled around Thailand, and then I went back to Australia, and then I actually did that for I wanted to try chase the summer, and so it was great to see all my friends in New Zealand, and it's like cold and winter, and I'm somewhere tropical and like 30 degrees, you know, having a beer on the beach and stuff. And so I tried to chase the summer every year. So on the summer, in the top of the year, start of the summer on this side of the world, I would come back to New Zealand for summer and work and whatever, or I'd be in Australia and work and whatever. And then I'd build up again, and I'd go work back for this company that I'd work for teaching, and then hang out in Southeast Asia for a while. And then I would sort of just float back and forth through Singapore, and because Singapore is like a massive international airport, I would kind of just pick where I'd go next.
Yeah.
And the company I worked for also supplied like a lot of flights and stuff. It was a pretty good gig. And so the second time I went to Japan for a holiday, hung out in Japan for a couple of weeks, travelled all over as much as I could until as much as my money would take me. Every time I'd come home or go to Australia, I'd be like broke. And then the last trip I did, I went to Europe for the first time. So that was cool.
In other words, old. You're an old woman. You've done a lot.
Old. I'm so young. I'm not even considered late 20s. I'm still
joking.
considered early 20s.
I'm joking. But no, I was just saying because that's an interesting thing. I don't know if you actually had that mentality when you were young, and then suddenly life is taking you to different directions, doing different things, right? And that's cool that you kind of already see a career as a sports person going overseas.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
But then, like, obviously, I also want to go to the careers to talk about, okay, well, what if I got injured, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what if it just doesn't work out? You got to have something to do.
Yep.
You got to have something.
Which sports would you give priority to? Because you do so many of them. You practice so many.
Touch.
I love touch. I don't know what I'd go with because I was playing rugby at Magri Bay. Absolutely love rugby. But there's no rugby at St. Peter's.
Oh my God. Oh yeah.
So
no.
I had to make netball and basketball, which are like my side sports, my main sports, and put like rugby and touch just behind that during winter season, you know?
Yeah.
So then I started having to develop my netball and basketball a bit better. I can't pick between. Sorry.
What do you prefer, basketball or netball?
I love both the sports, but I have chosen to go to Eunice over regionals for basketball. Like I've chosen to go to netball, like regionals instead of basketball ones because they're both so dumb. It's on the same week.
Wow.
So it's like this thing called Winter Tournament Week. So we're like 5 weeks out now, I think. And it's like when all like volleyball nationals, like all across national, like all the winter sports have their national or regional qualifiers or whatever, and it's all on the same week. So that means that like some kids have to pick between sports, which is really dumb.
That's unfortunate. That's super unfortunate. Yeah.
Do netball players feel offended when we say that it's like a basketball that hasn't evolved or something like that, or it's just not fair to say?
I feel like both are really.
Sorry, guys. I don't even know the rules of the game. I'm just making a joke.
Oh, I don't know. They're both really different.
That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said.
I know everyone's like, you're passing a ball, you're going down the court, and
one, you're bouncing the ball. Two, you're throwing the ball.
Okay, so yeah, that's good because honestly, now I know that it was a joke, but like I didn't even know it was a sport when I came to New Zealand. So yeah, it's true. I'm just saying, it's true. So can you actually tell me the difference between, because a lot of people are watching this show from overseas. I'm not even joking. Like there's you know. So what's the main difference between netball and basketball? I know that it sounds silly, but some people don't.
Right. Okay, so netball there's like 7 people on the court. Basketball there's 5. Netball you catch and pass, but you can't move. Obviously, you have 2 feet planted at the ground. You can't run with the ball. You can't move the ball. Basketball you can dribble the ball. Run with it, well not run with it, you can only like go for 2 steps and run with it. The only big difference for me is I'm a defender in netball, so I don't shoot in netball, where in basketball when I get to basketball I have to shoot, which is the only and I feel like that's when, like with my footwork in netball, like in basketball run all the time and stuff, and then when I get to netball I have to remember like, oh, I've like got to stop, got to balance, you know. And then it's like you have to, like basketball there's like all the different like, it's like you can't be in the keyhole for a certain amount of time, where in netball there's like other rules, like you can't go over the circle third for like if you're like an outside defender or attacker, you know. So there's 3 defenders, a centre, and then 3 attackers.
Right. How long does it go for?
The different it's different in certain ages. So like now, because I'm playing in the Premier League for school, we play 15-minute quarters. So it comes up to like an hour. Yeah, hour. Right. And then just like little breaks in between. But like at reps, when we're doing tournaments, it's like 40-minute games.
Oh, yeah.
Can it get as fast-paced and active as basketball, or is it more like strategy?
I think it's more strategy. Like it's different structures. This is so hard
It's just like different plays.
Yeah, like
different.
Like,
yeah, of course.
like I get this is so funny. I get netball plays so much, but basketball ones go in one ear and out the other, and I like get so confused. But then once I get them, it makes sense. But like it takes me longer to get basketball than because netball there's like there's a structure, but it's like not because of basketball there's like you have a play and there's like different options you can go off to get to the play. But like in netball, it's like as a defender, like you do a zone, that's your structure. You don't let them come in there and you're forcing ball wide. So like it's like a different way of winning.
Right.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Good. It does make sense. It doesn't. So another important question here. We all know that rugby, big thing in the country, probably the most popular
culture
sport, part of the culture. However, I listen to the men rugby much more than women rugby.
Yeah.
Which one is the equivalent sport to rugby when it comes to women's participation? Like, which one is probably the most popular sport for women in the country? I'm not sure if you can say the most, but like the ones that are always
Big netball, right?
Like netball, but
Do you mean like
women's
the equivalents to like the All Blacks? The way
ones
the
that-
culture, everyone talks
like
about All
a
Blacks.
lot of engagement and the girls look
I
up
feel
to
like women's
women's-
rugby is
yeah.
really growing right now.
Yeah?
Like,
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
Fast.
Yeah.
Netball, rugby, basketball.
I don't know how like widestream media it is, but like
Yeah.
also futsal is really cool. Like
Yeah.
the women's futsal team. Is,
And football. That's great.
Yeah, football. Yeah,
I feel like that's grown.
it's pretty
as
good.
well.
Yeah.
Right. So it's very possible like to go for any of these sports as a career.
Yeah,
Right.
but-
Like it's
Yeah.
There's
But
yeah.
The thing is, it's just like equal with men and women, like equal pay, which I have just seen with the cricket where the women I think are getting
Like
paid the
paid.
same as the men.
Yeah.
So they're getting equal pay, which is like I think the first thing I've ever seen in like men and women's sport equal,
I
Yeah.
think, especially for New,
especially for New Zealand. Yeah.
yeah, I think so too.
right.
But women's rugby's just been getting paid full time, I think, instead of just like a little bit. Like they can get enough to live off it, I think.
Would you know who is like a woman star in the rugby in New Zealand or like?
Eloise Blackwell. She went to Mercury Bay. Yeah. Eloise, she seems really cool.
She is super nice. I remember.
You would go to school with her like a little bit?
I think she was maybe like just a bit older than me.
Yeah.
Like I would have been like in primary when she was in high school or something like
yeah,
that. So
okay.
like but I'm super aware of her because she'd come back and visit all the time. And
Yeah.
like, she's super tight with Mr. Morgan. Like, so like it's always one of those things. But yeah, no, she's super cool. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Oh, so from the area.
Yeah, I think she's actually from Great Barrier. Yeah. Like the Bay tend to bring over I don't know if they still do it. Like they used to have like small groups of people from the Bay. I mean Great Barrier, and they'd
Like
bring them.
private
They'd come
board
to
at
do.
Bay.
Yeah, they come do like school here, like on like as like a low key
Thing.
border thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
they'd come live with a
Like
local
private
family.
boarding.
Yeah.
Is it
They come to school here.
Is it a thing that they become like influencers or they're like big in social media and stuff? Because around the world it's very
Yeah.
common, and like I always see the all black, you know,
All
like
Blacks got big followings.
is it a thing also for female athletes? Like, would you say that are big? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel like in any sports, once you become like high up there in
Yeah.
the sports, you start to get a big following. You know, like you start to gain heaps of followers.
Do you follow any sports people, Chloe, on your social media?
Maybe not specifically. I was like a massive fan growing up, and I still follow Sarah Walker, the BMXer. There, the women's futsal ferns. Like, I'm not that big on like watching sports. I don't
Yeah.
really give 2 cents about it. I really don't. Like, I don't care. I really don't.
Practice.
But I love to play it. If it's
Yeah.
like if I'm there in person, that's great. But I'm like, I'm not gonna make an effort on a Saturday night to sit there and watch the rugby. I'm like, oh, cool, whatever. No, I think that's about it. I think I do follow Eloise on Instagram. I think
First swear of the night, fantastic, Chloe. Yes, not me.
Yeah. Whoops. I think I do follow her on some social media, but I'm not the sort of person that like keeps track. Do you know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
it comes out in my feed, I'm like, oh, cool, like interesting. But I'm not like, oh, go specifically into her profile to have a look what she's doing.
What about you, Macy? Do you follow any sports people on your social media?
I do. I tend to follow a lot of the girls in the ANZ Premiership for netball. A lot of the girls in women's rugby, the All Blacks. That's actually kind of it.
You were part of that show, Pity, what's the name of the
Pity Weaver's Sticky Tour.
No, I remember.
It was surprising because I was watching the episodes, and then suddenly there's Macy.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was you, right? Was that part of the training on that day?
Yeah. It was, I think it was at holidays. I don't know. I was here one weekend, and Trini, which is the manager of the girls' first 15, was like, "Hey, come down and do it, even though you don't like go to Mercury Bay anymore. Like, still come."
Cool.
You know, it was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, because the guy, you were not there, but there was something to do with the coach, that the coach of the rugby team at the time. Was it something that I think you mentioned to me? You told me that they came to interview, like to do something with the rugby team, and the coach at the time, the guy coaching.
Lloydie.
Lloyd.
Lloyd. Yeah, Lloyd.
There you
What? What about it?
No.
Sorry, I'm so confused.
No. I just thought you said something before to me, like, oh yeah, the All Black came to do the show, and the guy who was, I think you knew the guy or something like that. But were you part of that team at some stage, or no? You were always into
I never
the
played.
football.
No, I never played rugby. No way. Not into it. I mean, like they say that netball is not a non-contact sport, but growing up playing netball,
It's such a contact
my
sport.
god! Like just playing around here. Did you guys ever get to like you hit heads with like? It was always when we were younger. It was always us versus either the older development team. So like, we were like still young,
and you're just training against all the women and stuff.
Or it's like it would be heads down and like the Macanini Calf and Coro against like Manaya or Coromandel, and it's always like
we have that. So like at school, what happens? Like at the moment on a Monday night and Thursday night, I have netball games, right? On a Monday night, it's like the mixed league, so like it's also men, which is also our netball coach goes to toughen us up against. When we get to Eunice,
right?
Because it's like it's actually. I know they say that it's a non-contact sport, but it's basketball. It's
so much contact.
I just went to nationals, and it's probably the most I've ever been like physical ever.
Yeah.
It's
like it's a non like intended. You can't like intentionally place contact.
Yeah,
like it's like in rugby you
fully go tackle them
to contact them, but like in netball, I mean the odd elbow and the pushing and the I'm a football girl. Yeah, I love football.
But I see some girls absolutely so fun fact, I used to play football before I went to rugby.
Oh,
so I played it from when I remember I went in. This is funny as well. So when I was 5, I played netball for the first time, and I fell over, and I was like, I'm never playing this ever again. Like, this is so dumb. Didn't play it all the way till like year 7, 8, but and then I like switched to football straight away. I was like mini kickers all the way through till like
13th grade.
Yeah, 13th, yeah.
Oh, cool.
And then all the boys were like, oh, you can't play rugby. You play rugby at school. And then I was just like, oh,
I see switched.
Yeah, I switched up. But yeah, you would have been. I swear I'd come complain to you about it at drums. I'd be like, oh, the boys are giving me all this shit because I'm going to play, not playing rugby or something.
You would say a lot in the drums classes, Macy. Like it was very hard to keep track of all the. I remember being like, kind of like mentally preparing for your class because it was so much fun. But you would just talk like so much.
It was like a whole week.
Very active, like very active, which is great. And I was actually thinking about like a question around that because like now. Like you seem a little bit more relaxed. Yeah. You might still be crazy as like well, but like you seem pretty relaxed. Like, do you make sense of how active you are? Yes,
I do. Yes. I do realize how active I was when I'd come to jumps and stuff.
Would it be a thing like during school, like during the other subjects and everything? Like, did you always have that thing? Because like. I don't know how teachers would deal with that, but I know that for some teachers it's hard to deal with hyperactive students.
Oh, okay, I know what you mean now. So
yes,
it depends what subject.
Right.
So, like some classes, it's like sit down, I'm teaching you, listen, do your work. But like then there's ag and like agriculture. Oh. So like the farming side of farming schooling part, whatever. Mm-hmm. Everyone's like hyperactive, like it's ag, it's farming, like we're going to go on the farm, we're going to do something, like everyone's like super excited, and like half our class is full of boys. Like there's only 4 girls in our class, and the class is like full of like 27 of us.
Wow.
And so, because it's not like really common subject for girls, but I took it as a wild card last year, and then actually ended up enjoying it.
Oh, sweet.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool,
But
cool.
I feel like, it's like some teachers know how to deal with it. Like they have the convo. Like I feel like now, like in year 11, we know when to stop, I guess, and like just stop the conversation of being hyperactive, I guess. But like in year 9 and 10, I think we'd always try to continue, and then the teacher would get mad or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, like we need to do some work. But he's so hyperactive with drums.
Oh, very. Yeah. Which is cool, because that's
Yeah.
probably the reason why you were doing it, you know,
Yeah.
because it's something that gets you.
I'd look forward to it. Tuesdays, loved it.
Yeah, it's fun, right?
10:45, I'd be there, be fair, and be square.
All over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember the time? Yeah, no, you were always dedicated, like showing up and doing your thing. But like, I often think about that. A lot of people probably would say, oh, but they have to practice. You know, if they're not practicing, like, what's the point? And I see it differently. You know, like if someone is choosing music, they might not be the best
I was
musician
never
in the
good
world, but just by being there, absorbing there, enjoying the environment, and taking a break, because sometimes school can get overwhelming, right? So if you can have that half an hour,
it was relaxing. I can say that now. And like I was like, obviously I was never the best drummer. I was never expected to be, you know, but I still like. I think drums just gave me a sense of rhythm, you know. Yeah. And
you got something like was it like not a prize, but like a recognition one year? Wasn't it something that you got?
I got, I think me and remember Courtney Hall. She still goes to Magri Bay. We shared the music cup, whatever.
Like, yeah. And it was mainly because of the effort, right?
Yeah.
Because you were going for it, you know? Like, and that's something that I appreciate more than actually the best.
The best.
I don't like that, you know? Like, I think that saying the best might be good for the child, but maybe not really. But for the other ones, it's kind of like, what does it mean? Am I shit?
Like,
well, just because you said shit. So I feel like
we're safe now. Catch out of the bag.
But you know, like, but I think it was something regarding like effort. Yeah. You know, because you were putting yourself out there, you were going, you were showing up and practicing. So like, I like that. You know, like when you acknowledge dedication, you're like, oh, good on you, man. You're putting the effort.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I feel like that kind of did carry over into my sport. You know, like still kept my passion for sports and netball and basketball and stuff. Like, yeah. I really do miss drums though.
It's fun, eh?
Yeah.
It's
like something I think a quote I took from the Silver Ferns netball coach, just because she like the netball team for Silver Ferns in the Commonwealth Games just got announced, and the one thing she said that stood out to me is like, if you're not excited to be here, then don't be here.
Yeah.
Which was like kind of like I can relate that back to when we had drums. Like if I wasn't excited to be there, like don't come. I guess like gotta be excited to go do something.
Yeah,
you know?
want to be like 100% all in, like there to enjoy it all. Yeah. Do you see yourself maybe playing in the Commonwealth Games one day?
That would be cool.
That'd be very ideal.
I actually have no idea. That's the main reason why I'm going to the careers person next Monday.
Yep.
But I have no ideas what I want to do with sport. I think it's just because like when you're younger you just do all these sports, like that was like always me, like do all these sports, do everything you can.
Yeah.
Like when I got to St. Peter's I dropped swimming as well.
Oh wow.
Because that was like another thing that I just couldn't keep doing, you know.
Yeah.
So then it's just like, and then so like it's like dropping sports, I guess, and starting to choose between sports, which is kind of really hard.
Yeah,
like, it was also it was
tricky,
hard to accept the fact that I couldn't play rugby at St. Peter's. So I was just like, yeah. Which it's still hard for me to accept. Like I see all my friends back here posting about first 15 rugby, and I'm just like, oh my god.
Is it the community sense that you missed, or was it the idea of like you thinking you can like excel in it? Or was it neither of those things?
No, I felt like I really enjoyed the game, and I'd always look forward to going to like rugby training, rugby games. Yeah. And I know that I had more of a love for it than netball, basketball than I do.
So how come St. Peter's doesn't have a rugby team?
Well, what I had another student tell me, which no one can quote me on for, I guess. Rumour.
Gossip.
It's not really gossip. It's just I think it's because all the netball girls and basketball girls played rugby, I think, and then who would you put on the court on Saturday for netball, Thursday night? You know,
okay.
like,
So there's just a bit more push for another sport rather than.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know what happened, and
Because they've had teams before, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have boys, and I think one year they had a girls 15 because of that reason, I think they stopped it. I don't know. I don't know the full detail because I've really actually had no one to properly tell me.
Oh yeah.
Touchy subject
Are
there
you
as well.
able? I suppose from what I gathered, it doesn't sound like you'd have much time to play anywhere else though. But like, I mean, if there was like a local, like not St. Peter's, I don't know, somewhere closer, Hamilton maybe, a team that you'd be able to like play with. But I suppose you just don't have much time, right?
Yeah, well, I think I'd actually have to probably drop a sport as well again. But, you know, I don't know. It's just whatever opportunity comes my way, I'll just take it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's good. So there's a social netball thing. Is that what it is around here for the people interested in?
Oh yeah. They play like social. I think it's like just open women's.
Yeah, senior 1, senior 2 division. Yeah. I read it every week in the Informer. See what the scores are.
I just started first time playing netball in like so many years. Well, you've been here 9 years, so over 9 years since I played because I switched to football like an intermediate, and it was ridiculously fun. I loved it. I was so nervous. I didn't like run around. Like I run around and play football. Well, I try to all year round.
So much running.
Yeah, but because we have like summer league and stuff. So I try and run around and play socially throughout the year. But then I was like netball. I was like, whoa, I don't even know what like trainers to wear. I was worried about my ankles all of a sudden and my knees like bailing, and I bailed so many times because I can't stop. I was going way too fast. But it was really, really cool. There's massive turnout out there. Cool. I think you have to be registered to play, but still go out and have a watch.
You can
Wednesday
join a team.
nights. Yeah. I'm sure someone will throw you on. Yeah, bring a water bottle every Wednesday at 6 and 7, I believe. Yeah.
There you go. Macy, I remember a story that you told me once.
Oh, God.
Maybe you can refresh my memory.
I've told you lots of stories.
A lot of stories. You told me a lot, but one, was it something from your family that you guys won a competition of, how do you call that thing with the sheep? Like sharing the sheep. I remember you telling me, how was that?
No, it was in year 7. We went on that Rotorua trip. This is when I told you. And we're like in the van. I think it was like with Fabian and stuff. And we were all talking about like weird facts about our family or something.
Yeah, but there was something like that. You guys won a prize or something? Your family?
It wasn't our family. But I think my great uncle, so like second uncle, which is my granddad's brother, because I think they're like more of a sheep sharing family, right? So I remember like once it was like that time of my life when I found out that I think he held a world record for a bit, like for the fastest sheep sharing.
A world record, Chloe.
Wow.
A world record.
Wow.
It was like probably how many he could do in a short time or something.
It was on the news or something. It was like on TV3, how TV3 was back then. But,
yeah.
It's so weird. I can't believe I was such a weirdo in year 7.
that was
his name.
Oh, year 7's out.
Do you know his name? We would Google it and find the world records. I'm just curious for name, the numbers. I'm just curious, like, what it takes to be a world.
You'd have to be quite a bit because I know down south. No, it'd have to be quite a bit. I have family down south in Alexandra, and my uncle was like a
sheep shearer.
He was all over it, man. He loved it. He was well known back in the day too. I don't know if he broke a world record, but like he would shear some sheep.
Yeah.
He loves it.
How is that word? Share.
Share.
S-E-S-H-E-A-R.
S-H-E-A-R. Share.
A-R. There you go.
Share.
He's gonna find it.
And it's pretty humane, like the way they do it. Like people like freak out when you watch it happen because they're like, it's like on its back and it's like kind of rolling around and they kind of throw it around.
But shave it.
And the thing is, like it's like the way you move it around, it doesn't hurt them. You know, you're avoiding hurting them.
Yeah.
If you look at the clippers,
I
they're
think
like
it's a skill.
Absolute
such a skill.
It is. It is. Yeah.
I don't think I could ever like just pick it up like that.
I tried. So Lloydie, we were talking about Lloyd. He's
my God, love Lloyd.
Yeah. We were out at his place sometime over the summer with some family down from Christchurch and stuff.
Yeah.
And Jess just randomly brings out the sheep. And my cousin Kiana, she's from Christchurch. If you ever see this, she's very much a city girl.
Oh, it won't be the world record now, but like back
A
ages
new,
ago.
a new world record has been set by a British
last
man
year.
who shared 872 strong wool lambs in 9 hours.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's so many.
That's a lot.
Oxford.
It's a lot of sheep.
It's
a lot of sheep.
of sheep, man. It's a lot.
And it was strong
of
wool.
sheep.
Strong wool.
God.
Yeah, shit. Man, that's like top level shit right there.
I don't know what
There you go.
wool it was.
Strong wool.
Right.
It
Strong
says
wool.
Strong wool. Not weak wool.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was just something that came to my mind of
Oh
these
my
stories.
god,
Yes.
I can't believe you remembered that.
Funny. Well, that trip that Macy was talking about was probably one of the first trip that it was a night trip, overnight.
It was 3
Trip.
days. It was
3 days.
so cool.
Yeah, going
I thought
to,
it was so cool.
It was so cool, yeah. Going to something called Rhapsody in Rotorua. So like a lot of schools from New Zealand and Australia getting together to do like a
Gigs.
performance gigs,
Yeah.
and then we would also run like workshops. And they invited me to run a workshop, which
Oh,
was pretty cool.
cool.
Yeah, drumming workshop, and that was.
Yeah.
But I remember. I got like the older van to drive. So like like man, there you go, like but no, all good, man. Let's do this, and like I got a cool group, you got
a cool group.
I think at the time they were mainly year 10 or 11.
11, 12,
people.
yeah.
And then Mason was
10.
like, nah, I'm going with Leo. I'm going.
I couldn't. I was like, I want to go with Leo. Like,
Yeah.
what the heck?
But then like we were responsible for our vans, obviously, like so I had like all these year 10, 11,
Yeah.
and Macy, like year 7, and I'm like, oh man, like so many things could go wrong, like they leave
I
at
think
year
it's because
7.
I remember it was like we were sitting at the traffic light and slinging rocks onto the road because I was bored, and Leo was like, stop. And I was like,
but I think I don't think I was too harsh on you. I
no,
was
you
like,
weren't. I just
kind
was
of
like one time I threw rocks at the road and you're like, Macy, stop. And I was like,
come on, Macy. Yeah. Like, and in my mind was like, what are you doing, woman? You're like gonna lose my job here. Help me here. But it was the coolest, right? Such
It
a
was
cool,
so cool.
Such a cool opportunity to bond with students. You know, like when you
met
leave the school
Yeah.
environment to do something else.
Yeah.
You know, I'm quite supportive of this.
There's
you
like
know,
so many
because-
different people at your workshop as well. Like all these different ones. And then I think you're talking to the girl that played the big boom 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 thing. You
Yes.
talked to her about that.
Yes.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it was the timpanis, like the big orchestras drums.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like that. Yeah. It's
So
not
that
a
was
gong,
cool.
right?
The concert or like the things went till like 12 a.m. And I remember one night we went home, some of us went home early because we just didn't want to be there anymore. We were like sitting outside of this random place in Rotorua.
Yep.
Wait for it.
You're
Get out
really
of here.
selling it. It sounds so
And
good.
then
Get out of here.
And then they had technical things, and then like you, Mr. Mulholland, and Mr. Roberts all had to go help fix it or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was it was because I thought we would all be part of the presentations.
But we weren't.
And then I was a bit surprised.
I was kind of cut. I was
yeah,
like,
I thought the
but I was
students-
literally year 7, but still.
Yeah, like because they sell tickets for people to go and watch the presentation. So the students go perform and then go back to the green room. Like they actually don't get to watch.
Oh.
And classic Fauna didn't get the memo, like got there. I was like, yeah, let's go watch the show. And then suddenly they're like, nah, you're gonna stay here with the students. And I'm like, why would we stay here? And
But
like,
there was-
because we
So
just
that was it. You
waited.
just went to perform and
So
then you
the
had to like
first-
hang out the back.
I just didn't. Yeah, pretty much like you would go perform and then go back. But like we only
Yeah.
had one group
Performance.
that was
Oh,
performing, and the other one, like we all watched the day before, like the presentations for the students.
Yeah.
But the show, I really thought would be.
I remember the first night we all got to go and watch all the presentations.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't even playing, yet I still had to go sit in the back with everyone else. Like, I didn't even get to watch the show again, and I was like mad at.
Come on, man.
no.
Yeah.
But the opportunity to be part of the workshops and,
That was
and
cool.
to get the first day students performing for students, that was
Yeah.
pretty special.
I remember, I think was it your first time you went to Starbucks when we went there? I was like, Leo, we have to go to Starbucks.
Yeah.
Did you hate it? I feel like you hated it. I feel like you'd hate it. Yeah.
I was
feel
kind of
you'd
like,
hate it.
yeah, because like we were in the city finally,
Yeah.
and for me it was like, cool, we're out of the, the
Small town
Small town,
rural
yeah.
vibe. Let's explore the different
Literally went to the
cafes and
south of
opportunities, and then they were all like, we want to go to McDonald's and Starbucks. I was like, what the why? why?
Here's a cucumber.
Yes. But we did.
We did. I was
And
like,
and now that you're saying, I remember another cool thing. I think there was a night that everybody went to Hell's Pizza or something. And
we went to Burger Fuel.
and then I went somewhere else.
And then everyone went to the night markets, and there's like 2 groups. And I remember we went to Burger Fuel, and everyone else went to the night markets. And I was like,
but then there was also one time that everybody was eating, I think it was burgers or something.
Yeah.
And then I went to get a kebab, something with hummus, and you were like, what's that?
oh my God.
And
like,
Macy
dude,
was
can I have
looking at
some
mine. And I was like, God damn it, now I have to share my food with a child. I have to look after them
You were that kid.
and share my food with them.
You were that kid, yeah. You're not standing outside the tuck shop.
You're like, Lego's like, oh, like it's vegan, it's vegetarian stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah. And I was like looking at it. And I was like, what is that? And I was like, this purple thing, it's eggplant.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, can I have like a little bit? And he's like, okay, sure. And I was like, oh, that's kind of good. And I was like, can I have some more?
Yeah. So that was the professional. Yeah, of course you can. But in my mind, I was like, come on. Eating my food, woman. What are you
was year
doing?
7. I'm telling you, I was such a weirdo in year 7.
Yeah, I swear everyone was a bit weird in year 7, if I'm honest.
I'm joking. I'll tell you what. Actually, it was a pleasure because you were actually the one interested in the different food, like because everyone went to the
Oh my God, the
McDonald's,
conversations we had
burger,
about
pizza,
food.
whatever. And Macy was like, what are you eating? And I'm like, oh, hummus, eggplant, like vegan food. And she was like, oh.
Vegan food.
Because it looks good, right?
Yeah,
like
it looks
was
so
beautiful,
good.
colorful. And then she was like, oh, can I try some? So like, I'm joking. Like I actually felt happy. I was like, oh yeah, give it a go. And so trying new things.
What
That
kind
was
of food
cool.
do they serve in the hall?
Oh, okay. So
Is there like a large
we've got
variety?
like a catering company. So like dining hall, like a lot of boarding schools, the dining halls within the boarding house.
Yeah.
But since we have all these different, like people be like, oh, there's like 190 people in my boarding house, and I'm like, oh, I got 71. But that's like all their boarders together. Where like we've got 4 different girls' boarding houses.
Yeah.
So like I've got 71, and then there's like another 3 more. So imagine if we combine those all together, it'd be heaps.
Yeah.
I think there's like almost 500 boarders at my school.
Oh, wow.
And I remember at the dining hall, they also got to get during the day at lunchtime, because day students also get dining hall food. So they got to get like 1,200 kids all through the dining hall at like an hour. Yeah, it's crazy. But the food is good. I actually really like the food.
Yeah. Do they?
Sorry, does it cater for everybody? Like
Yeah, I
different
was about to say the
options?
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you got dairy free, gluten free, vegetarian, vegan,
Nice.
whatever you are, they'll cater for you. There's always an option. Desserts, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Yeah.
Cool.
That was literally what I was going to say. So I have nothing else to pick up that up. But
No, yeah.
do you ever get like special request meals? Like if it's your birthday, do they make a cake?
Oh, so I love my matron. I can't get over how much I love her. She's like literally our mum. Like she's so cool. Like the boarding house director, my mum, like,
Send a shout out to
Yeah,
her,
that's-
Macy. Here, do it.
hi Miss Yardley and Miss B. So like I love my house director and matron. And my matron, when it's your birthday, there's like this big tray of cupcakes she'll make for you. And you get like, she'll do it for anyone.
Oh,
That's
how
so
sweet.
nice, yeah.
Oh, cool.
And then there's like your teacher came up like, oh, it's your birthday, happy birthday. And they make the whole class say happy birthday.
It's still so awkward, eh?
Yeah. They're like, okay.
So-
no, my birthday was on a Sunday, so I was like, okay, I don't have to go through that. But I didn't get cupcakes. 'cause
And then
it was
in
during
like
the week.
chapel, they all just like sing happy birthday.
Yeah, oh, not at chapel.
But if they did.
Oh my gosh, this is a funny story about drums.
Okay.
So this last year I did this thing called house music, which is like how to get house points throughout the school and stuff, right? And you do it in your houses, and there's like junior house, senior house, full house, whatever, and you like perform musical performances and dances. And I was year 10, obviously wanted to get involved. I've never heard of it before, never done it at Mercury Bay and stuff. I did it, and I like got mic'd up and all this stuff, and I had to sing and dance, and I'd never done that in my life. But I remember during practices one time I was like so bored, and then I seen a drum set over there, so I went up on the drum set, and then they were like, I started playing like a little bit, like there's this one beat I always did at drums, and I'd never forget it. And I was just playing it and doing my thing, and then they come over and they're like, do you want to be a part of the chapel band? The chapel band performs like on a Sunday in front of all the boarders. Oof. And I was like, no.
No thanks.
But you got an invitation.
Yeah, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to do that.
There you go.
Yeah.
I remember you wanting to learn a song for the camp.
Oh, the
as well, right?
day camp. And I was like,
day camp.
Leo, I've got like 3 weeks to learn these songs. I'm freaking out. And he's like, okay. And he's listening to these songs.
Oh, well, did you play the drums in the day camp band?
I was going to my first year of being like a leader.
Yeah.
And then last year I was also a leader, but
okay.
I didn't do the drums then. I was just a leader.
Oh, okay.
And then, was it day camp this year?
Not this year, but last year there was.
Last year there was. Yeah, I did day camp last year.
Yeah, because I think just you saying that, I think I remember seeing you. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, now I actually think about it.
Yeah, I think so. Hey.
So what is the day camp and how does it work?
Day camp is so cool. I remember so many people would diss it, but I love day camp so much.
I love day camp. I went as a camper.
Yeah, from when you're 5.
Yeah, yeah. And then you like work your way up. It's like a Easter weekend, Easter school holidays day camp.
3 days.
It's somewhat run by St Andrew's Church, kind of with like an influence from St Andrew's Church, and it used to be run in Whenuakere, but now it's run Cook's Beach side on. Is it still Mr. Veda's farm? It is, eh?
The avocados guy. Is that his name?
Yeah. And there's opportunities. So you go as a camper and it's over 3 days. However, you don't stay over. You go over there for the day and you come back. And it's all pretty much volunteer run. And then you have opportunities as you get older to be like a team leader. So you get
got
roles.
The opportunity last year finally.
And you get opportunities to...
be a leader.
Experience
develop
a bit of leadership.
Skills. Yeah.
And for the kids, they have a schedule over the 3 days. Do an awesome range of activities, everything from like claybird shooting
like 23
to
activities you can choose from,
all
but
this
you can only do
stuff.
11 or something.
And you do this all throughout 3 days, and then you could be a team leader, and then you progress up and be like an adult leader, and then a volunteer and stuff like that.
The worst part was not getting the activity you wanted.
It was
because it's too full or something.
Yeah,
and you're just like. I remember one year I didn't get confidence calls, and I was like,
the worst
confidence course.
Yeah, so it's like confidence course is kind of like. It was like before Mystery Trailer, eh?
Yeah. It was like it's essentially, you think of...
Mud.
Like, yes. You think of like those...
coaching?
No, like those army guys.
Like,
and then
you
gotta like crawl under the rope thing, and then the mud, and you gotta like jump off stuff and all throughout the bush.
It's like the coolest thing.
It was really fun. There was one I particularly hated for the longest time when I was a kid. It's called the chicken coop. So it was
hated the chicken.
I hated it.
I love the chicken coop.
Because there was always people that come up behind me, and then you're like, because you're meant to go timing. So it's essentially like this.
One goes down the slide.
It's like a giant exaggerated version of it, like a chicken coop. However, what they've done, all on the inside, it's all blacked off, and it's a maze. So you got to climb in this little hole, and then you got to make your way out. And there's like sometimes there's
dead ends.
Dead ends, and you've got to climb up. Sometimes you got to climb over. All these like weird things, and it's in the pitch black. You don't get a torch. And then there's like 3 different exits. There's ones where you like make it right to the top, and then there's like a fireman pole. There's a slide. Sometimes you just like fall off this end bar. Like
that end part was so weird.
It's so weird. But the thing is you'd go through it and like you'd get bored. So the kids would get bored.
They just sit
and
there.
a team leader, and you just try to make like competitions and stuff. And what we did is I'd like race the kids, like the kids that were super into it.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay, time you how you can get in and out, and then it'd be like different points if you come out the top entrance rather than the slide entrance and stuff like this. But I would always get stitched up because my team leader, who I knew when I was a kid, I'd always send my friend right after me, and if you have someone going super fast behind you, like you get stuck, and it's freaky because you're in this little black box. Okay, it's intense. I used to hate it.
There's like, and then you get the old kids that like cry, and you have to go find them in the maze.
So many crying children.
But then, if you don't want to do the chicken coop, there's the swing.
There's which is just like a random swing off.
I didn't really got introduced. It's like this random swing. I was like,
did they have like the harness as well,
Yeah.
which was like, I mean, no offense to DK, but like super dodgy. They used to have this really cool flying fox. It was awesome.
It's not there
because of Osh.
Because it was too dodgy.
Because of Osh, like you have to have like qualified people in harnessing and stuff like that to do it. However, they did it for quite a few years. Yeah, like team leaders like strapping these kids into this like
people my age.
like 100 meter like flying fox across this gully in this farm.
And that's how the thing got cancelled. Thanks ALTBAYS for
but also another cool few things that the day camp does years and years ago, I think they still do it now. They still do it now. The leadership grant stuff, the team leader stuff, where you get points.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was a part of the winning one last year.
I was a winning one too. I think me and my friend Amy Vincent were some of the first years, and what they do is they really push for. It's a great opportunity for children and stuff during the holidays to do something super fun, and it's like somewhat inexpensive. It's actually quite very, very like people really like it books out real quick. Like yeah. Like, you need to be like
you get waitlisted.
Yeah, you got to get the in.
But if you don't get them with the first 2 days, you're gonna get waitlisted.
Yeah, you pretty much don't get to go. But and so for the team leaders and stuff, they really push for them to come not only for the help, for like volunteer help, but to improve their leadership skills. And throughout those 3 days, the kids, adult helpers, crew, and people that run each section, because there's things like rock climbing and stuff, they will keep an eye on because the team leaders are in charge of the kids, these small groups of taking them to and from, and being like a guardian or supervisor among the adults at each activity to be involved and encourage the kids to do things. Like if they're kayaking and they get cold or they don't want to do it, it's the team leader's responsibility to like get in there and encourage them and make sure they're having a good time. And at each elective, all the adults and volunteers and stuff are asked to keep an eye on certain student team leaders. And in the staff room, there's like a whiteboard, and you go around, and every day everyone can, for all a different reason, put different points up for different people. And there's also like group points. So there's groups of team leaders, and they win a prize. Yellow, and they get like different coloured shirts and stuff. But then it comes down to a boy and a girl as well, and whoever gets picked at the end, who has the most votes, get a certain amount of money as a leadership grant. To go further their leadership skills.
You can go like Spirit of New Zealand, Hillary Outdoors.
Oh, cool.
I've heard of this new one called Outdoor Bound. I don't think it's
Outward
new.
Bound, yeah.
That looks so cool.
I think I got it, there was we got it right in the beginning when there was 2 girls and 2 boys. Me and my friend Amy Vincent, shout out. She went and did Spirit of Adventure, and I think she did Spirit of Adventure through school and did Outward Bound through the leadership grant. I used mine to go get qualified to do my TESOL teaching.
Oh, cool.
So I was working with children and stuff. And that was from the Vedders, so shout out to the Vedders. So that's a really cool thing. It happens every year. COVID,
it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, cool. I heard a lot about it, but it's nice that you're giving some details so people can be aware of the next time that we're going to saltier.
Just like a peanut in the
bottom. I was
bottom.
really considering bringing my water bottle. But then I seen in your videos you have like drinks. I was like,
they got some drinks there for us.
Thank you so much.
This is fun, Macy. This is a cool chat. Thanks for accepting our invitation to come here and sharing some stories with us. Yeah, good chat. Good chat.
Yeah,
good yarns. You were always good at it, so I'm sure you'll be very good at whatever you choose to do, because you got this thing with communicating well with people, which is a great thing. Chloe's on the same vibe. Yeah, that's why I knew it would be good tonight. I'm like, I won't have to talk much. I got Macy and Chloe. They will take the lead. They will do the job. That's cool.
Get it done.
Do you wanna leave a message? Do you wanna say something that you? I don't know.
I've got a question.
Shout out or questions, final considerations.
I've got a question. So something that I brought up in a couple episodes and tried to continue was the idea of a bowling alley in Whitianga.
Oh no, I've heard of this. This is so funny.
Oh, you've heard of it? Yes. Do you agree? We need a bowling alley.
We need a bowling.
And obviously, like you can add other stuff, like make it like a convention centre, all that sort of thing.
So
but like
give
a
us some
bowling alley,
ideas.
right?
What could we add to the bowling alley? There you go.
Yeah. What else would be cool? Like a cool hangout.
It's gonna be a complex.
Okay,
right?
so
the idea is like a cool hangout for the ages between like anywhere from maybe 14, 13 to like a young adult that's indoors, because we got like a cool skate park and the beaches and stuff like that, but somewhere indoors I think indoors would be great.
So for our like last team break up for reps, we went Timpin bowling. Like we went to a bowling alley, and I think while we were bored, like as we were getting served food, so I'm just eating food and stuff, but I remember there was these arcade games, and there was Doodle Jump Arcade.
Doodle Jump Arcade?
Yeah, it's there in Hamilton City, and I was just like, everyone was just like, oh my god, we need to go play Doodle Jump. Like Doodle Jump.
Even in the arcade, I think arcades are great.
Yeah. Otherwise, that would be my only input to the bowling alley.
Even like a weird seasonal. Do you remember when they did like those pop-up ice rinks?
Yes.
You could have an annual pop-up ice rink at the bowling alley.
Literally, that would be so cool.
She even knew about it, Chloe.
I know, you heard about it.
It is working.
I know.
Spreading the word.
Subscribe to ALTBAYS, guys.
Yeah.
Literally.
Get an alt ALTBAYS Bowling Alley.
Nice.
ALTBAYS Bowling Alley.
Thank you so
It
much.
just rhymes.
Good
Yeah.
idea.
Thank you.
I think we're gonna find an investor for the bowling alley.
It'll happen,
before
man. It'll
the-
happen. I'm waiting for it. I'm going to get an email one day and be like, hey, so I heard about this bowling alley you were in.
Pitch
I'm like,
the idea.
Yes. I hope to have you back when you start touring around the world, playing sports out there, and find time for us. Hopefully.
I will. Always will have time for you, Leo.
Thank you so much.
And Chloe.
That sounds
thanks,
good.
babe.
Thanks, Chloe. What a
Thank you.
pleasure. Always cool. Always sharp.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. I got into the nuts as well, so I'm
Good night.
distracted. Yeah.
We'll probably see you again on Friday, I think.
Yeah, I think
Yeah?
so. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, sure.
Cool. We got interesting people coming to the show this week. So on Wednesday, Johnny Mason, who is the owner of the Takeaways in Tairua. Johnny is Tairua. He's coming for a chat. And then on Friday, we have Dave Fowle. He was the owner of Eccentric for years and years and years. He's an artist, he's a
yum.
Such
musician.
a nice place to go to on
So
your way to
cool.
anywhere
Yes.
like Lane Bay, like small.
Fantastic guy, into it. He is about to finish one portrait a day for 100 days.
Oh, wow.
So he's actually coming here on the day that he finishes it.
Oh
He's
my
like-
god,
That's so cool.
Cool, right?
Oh, yeah. Is it like drawing or mixed media or?
No, all drawing like
Oh, wow.
visual artists. Yeah, so paintings. So he's doing one portrait of friends and people from the community, one per day, which is pretty cool.
Oh, hopefully it's this.
Yeah, it won't be us,
I know.
man.
You
Maybe
could
for
try,
next
we could
year.
try.
Maybe. But anyway, cool week ahead. So yes, enjoy your last week of the holidays.
I will.
Macy. That's cool.
Yeah. Don't break any bones.
Don't break any
No,
bones.
that was my only goal for the holidays. Don't get anything broken.
Nice.
So
nice.
good so
Literally
far.
5 weeks out from a tournament.
And spread the word about the bowling alley over there.
I will.
And ALTBAYS.
And ALTBAYS. I will.
Thank you. Thanks,
Awesome.
Chloe.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Macy. Thanks, Papa. And for you watching us live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. As Macy said, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Keep supporting our platform. Or if you want to listen to this show, if you don't have time to stop in front of YouTube and watch us to see our beautiful faces, you can go on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Bye.